Hey everybody, Jennifer here with Canvas Sign Designs. How are you guys doing? Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Hand Lettering Happy Hour. I go live every Wednesday to create some hand lettered home decor with you guys. And yeah, we have some fun projects lined up for February. Hey, Lisa, as you are jumping on, say hello. Let me know you're watching. And we will get started. I'll show you what I'm going to do today for our project. Today, I'm going to make a fun sign with one of our February templates from the blocking the light of my camera light. One of the templates from the Happy Lettering Club. Can't ever get this right here. Hey Carissa. Hey Angela. Hey Leanne. Marilyn. Did I say hi, Marilyn? I don't think I did. Hello, Marilyn. And hello, Marilyn number 1, and hello, Marilyn number 2. We got 2 Marilyns on here today. Hey, Valerie. How was everybody doing? How's your week going? It is dreary and gloomy here looking in Texas. It's like foggy and misty and just bleh, yuck. I'm ready for, it was supposed to be warm all week and partly sunny, and the weather is not delivering on that forecast. And so that's always like disappointing. Hey, Candy. Okay, so I'm gonna put my other camera up here. Let's add this other camera. You guys, let's see. Let's do this here. Okay, so this is what I'm thinking. You guys, a lot of you probably saw my live last week where I went to Hobby Lobby and got a whole bunch of stuff. Hey, Marie, how are you? And I got this big pad of scrapbook paper, and so I need to use this pad of scrapbook paper. Okay, so we are going to use it today. So I thought I would use this one. I chose this one. It looks like wallpaper. Isn't it so pretty? And I'm going to use this template from the Happy Lettering Club just because I love the message, and I think it's just a really good, inspiring lettering design here that we could all probably use this reminder. So this, we're going to make a really pretty sign. And then I'm also going to use this 8x8 canvas panel here that I got at Hobby Lobby. That's what I'm going to letter on here. And then those that are in the Happy Lettering Club, remember when we did this sign a couple of months back, we made this little sign. I got this at Walmart, and I had to pull the bow off of here because it was hot glued on, and I needed it to come off for this project. I wish I wouldn't have hot glued that on, but I'm going to repurpose this. I'm not gonna mess this part up, but we're gonna use the back side of it, but we're gonna use the front side of the frame. So I may need to like touch up my frame just a little bit, run some paint back over it in this one corner, or I could repaint it, but you know, I forgot that I needed to do this. I just decided on this craft like literally 15 minutes ago. I've been thinking about it, of what I could make, and you know, I always have more ideas, and then I get, you know, like I want to do all of it anyway. So okay, I'm trying to peel this off, but it's gonna take a little more work. Okay, so I got this sign at Walmart. It's in the craft section. It is a blank sign that you can it's like with all the little blank signs, Walmart's got a lot of those, and it already had this on here. And if you flip it back over, you can see that it's got this right here, this you know, just like a picture frame. So you could do this with any picture frame that you have. If you have a back like this. Any sort of frame design like that. See, this just pops right out here. And it's just really like a hard piece of like very, very thin wood. So if you have this frame, we're going to take this side, we'll leave it alone, but we're going to use this side. And I'm going to Mod Podge the scrapbook paper. I'm trying to find a spot to put that little frame. We're going to Mod Podge this scrapbook paper to this frame backing here, and then we will hand letter our sign. So how are y'all doing? Who bought this scrapbook paper from Hobby Lobby? Did any of y'all buy this? I know, Michelle. Isn't it gorgeous? Hey, LaDonna, how are you doing today? I was telling everybody it's gloomy here in Texas. Let's see if I can get my Mod Podge open. It's been a while. It's been a while. Mod Podge. I haven't Mod Podged anything in a little while. So this Mod Podge is old, so it's lumpy, and I probably shouldn't even use it. It's got a lot of lumps in it. We'll see how it goes here. I need to get a bigger thing of Mod Podge because mine's running low. We're just going to evenly put this on here real quick. I like this inspiring phrase that I'm going to use today. And I was like, what could I use it on? I thought about making something for Abby's room with it, so that she could, or I could hang it up in there. Just a little reminder. I think we all need reminders that we are good enough and that we are capable of a lot more than we give ourselves credit for. And we are worthy of it. So I like to just have that reminder. Hanging up. Okay, I'm making a mess today. I got this coated here, and I'm just going to slap this scrapbook paper on top and use this little roller here. Plaid sent me this little roller. They're the maker of Mod Podge, and they sent it to me in a kit, and I love it, y'all. It makes it really easy to roll your paper on. And then it's got this like squeegee thing here. And I always do this. It's kind of like I'm making wallpaper. I put wallpaper on. I'm putting it on a board, which, by the way, if you have any scrapbook paper laying around, you could use whatever you have to make something like this. Always think about repurposing your stuff that you already have, even though it's fun, isn't it, to get new stuff. I kind of got a little bit crooked with this. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Hey, Miss Dixie, you want to put your MP in a FIFO bottle, Mod Podge in a FIFO bottle, you think, getting tired of struggling with that stupid cap. I know, right? It like, hard to get open. I got a big bubble here. So we're going to let it sit for a few minutes, and hopefully that will, sometimes if you get a bubble in there, if you just let it sit for a while, it will just like, it'll calm down. Michelle, she may have gone into Hobby Lobby and she may have gotten this paper. I know, it's beautiful. I love this scrapbook paper. It's like my wallpaper scrapbook paper. Okay. Okay, so I'm not going to put a layer of Mod Podge on top of this right now. You can, but if it's just staying in the house, I really don't think that I need to do all that. And if you do decide to do that, let it just kind of let it hang out for a little bit. We don't want to I don't want to put Mod Podge on it when it's still a little bit wet, because that will cause it to bubble. I usually use my little X-Acto knife to just take these sides off, but it's across the room, so we're going to use scissors. I'm just cutting off this extra piece of scrapbook paper. Y'all, I had a piece of this scrapbook paper on my desk because, like, you know, I was just kind of getting everything together with what I was going to do. And I was testing out a pink paint pen because I was trying to decide like what colors I was going to use. And I shook it up and it got acrylic paint all over the scrapbook paper. So I'm kind of sad because that ruined a whole piece of scrapbook paper. I know, Dixie, I know, iron it. That's what a lot of people say. I don't have one of those little irons. So I need to get one of those. Yes, Dixie, this is from that big book. And Michelle, I don't think you need to poke a pin in it. Just sometimes you just let her sit for a little while and those bubbles will go down. If those that are in the Happy Lettering Club, if y'all remember when I did this, I had a ton of bubbles in it. And look, there's not a single bubble in it anywhere. It all flattened out perfectly. So sometimes you just gotta walk away. You gotta walk away from it. Yeah. So this came in that big giant scrapbook paper pack from Hobby Lobby. So cute. I wonder if their scrapbook paper is on sale this week. I'm not sure. I need to look because there was a lot that I really, really want to get. Yes, LaDonna, I'm good enough. I'm smart enough. And gosh darn it, people like me. I do remember Stuart Smiley from Saturday Night Live, and I reference that a lot. Anytime I'm like thinking about like talking to myself like that, and sometimes I wonder, does anybody remember that? Do they know what I'm talking about? I know a lot of people do. Okay, we're gonna let this just relax. I just remembered I'm gonna need to use, in a little while, not now, I'm gonna need to use my hot glue gun. So I'm just gonna go ahead and plug it in so it's ready to go when I'm done with this. So let me just plug that in, put her off to the side here. Okay. All right, I'm gonna set this to the side as well. Now we are gonna grab our little panel and our lettering template. And this is probably gonna be a really easy, quick little craft here today. Okay, so I'm thinking that I'm not even going to paint the back of this. It's white. I got this in a pack of several at Hobby Lobby, and these are just 8x8 canvas panels, and I like these because they're hard, so you can letter on them. But you see how that white's going to match just fine on here. So I think I'm not gonna paint it. I'm just gonna copy these. So I have these like little brush strokes, and I left them on here so that y'all could kind of see the vision I was going for with that. So what I'm gonna do is take some paint here, and I'm using Cloudy Day. I just took the scrapbook paper against all my paints and just tried to find something that I felt like matched it well. So I think this is going to work out good. So I'm going to set this panel beside here so that I kind of know where to put this. Because this is canvas, it's going to stay kind of a little more wet than wood. Just trying to kind of copy that thickness. It's not going to be exactly like that. But I want these brush strokes to kind of go off the edge like this. It's like a messy bun. Like you want it to be messy, but you don't want people to look like you intended it. Like it's messy because, okay, let's say that again. You want it to look like you meant for it to be messy. Sometimes that is hard. Abby came home from school the other day and I had put her hair up in a bun and she was like, so and so said I had a messy bun today. And I was like, okay, that's not like, that's a compliment. Like she's not saying your bun was messy like in a bad way. She was just saying you have a messy bun. People try to make their buns look messy, like they just threw it up. I was like, that doesn't mean, like, she wasn't like trying to explain to her what the messy bun. I was like, we can call your big sister and ask her. I promise you, I'm not just saying that. That's a compliment. But sometimes it's hard to get like sloppy with it on purpose. I'm just kind of where these lines were a little, I felt like we're a little like too neat. Just kind of go back over those a little bit. And this is the first time I've ever done this before, like in this sort of way. So hopefully it turns out good. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry just a bit. Hey, Miss Leanne. I might have already said hi to you. If I ever say hi to you on here twice, just ignore me. So I think this is going to match pretty well with this. I thought about doing pink. Kind of went back and forth, but I really like this. I felt drawn to this color. Michelle, she was just, so I was like, quit getting so offended by everything. Just, like, who cares anyway? If somebody said you had a messy bun, who cares? Like, why do you care? What difference does it make? Trying to teach girls that is so hard, like just quit taking everything so personal. Like, not everybody is going to love you, and that's okay. Like, you don't need their approval. We're beautiful, capable, and worthy. I'm going to put a little bit more on some of these spots here. I know we're all like that, right? Like, we all care. Even if we say we don't care, we do. But just to get to the point where you just don't let it like affect how you feel about it yourself. Hey, Misty, how are you? We are making a little sign here. I'm taking apart there's no place like home that we did in the Happy Lettering Club, and I flipped it over. I Mod Podged some scrapbook paper on here, and now I'm taking just this little canvas panel, and we are gonna transfer this on here, and then I'm going to place it on here. I know the drama starts so young. It does, right? And trying to teach people in this world that other people's opinions of you don't matter if you know that you are doing what you should do and you're doing the right thing. Don't bother with it so much. I'm going to mix a little bit of white with this here just to kind of soften it up just a little bit. I feel like it's a little bit darker than what I want. And then this will kind of also kind of if you could see the scrapbook paper in the background, it's got a little bit of like a kind of almost a canvas look to the background, just a little bit. And so this will kind of match with it a little bit. Just being real soft with this, just trying to put some little streaks. Okay, so you can kind of see it just looks a little streaky, but it just kind of softened it up just a little bit, so where it's not quite so dark. And I would go over it again, but I really don't want it to look like, you know, if I go over it with a lighter color, it's just gonna, I think it will make it look like I went over it with a lighter color, and I'm afraid that will mess it up. So I'm just gonna put a little bit more on here. I'm not even putting any pressure on this brush. I'm just gonna. So this is what we gotta do. Sometimes you just gotta, I tested this color out, but I tested it out on wood, and I probably didn't put as many coats, so it looked like it wasn't too dark. Then when I got it on here, it's a little darker than what I wanted to. So we're just improvising, kind of figuring out what we can add to it to get the look that we want or get it closer. But sometimes, no matter, even if I think that like I'm looking at the colors, until I actually see the project together, it's hard to sometimes visualize what it is going to look like. Okay, so I just did a little bit more streakiness, and then we're going to dry this, and then we're going to transfer the lettering template onto here. So thank you, Misty. Girls are the worst at being cruel to each other. I know. I've always told my girls that anytime another girl is talking about you or being mean to you, it's typically because they are jealous of either jealous or they're very unhappy with themselves. Because when happy people don't talk about other people, right? When you're happy with your life, you don't care what other people are doing. But when you are caring what other people are doing and you're talking negatively about them, it's typically because you are insecure or upset with yourself in some sort of a form or fashion. So I always try to tell my daughters this, and I know they're like, yeah, okay, mom, sure, whatever, but I just would say it over and over and over and over. And finally they would understand it. And I said, you just need to, if anybody's being mean to you, just I told my one daughter one time, you just need to walk up to and go, oh, I'm sorry that everything that, things aren't going your way in your life and you feel the need to talk about me. I'll pray for you, because what is somebody going to say to that, Yeah, it's hard. Exactly, Michelle. Yes, okay, you just said the same thing that I said. I didn't read your comment first, but yes. I decided to open up a new Posca because my other one I feel like it's getting low. All right, so I'm going to take some white graphite paper here, I'm going to take my template and just kind of put it on top of where these lines are that I painted, or these spots that I painted. And I'm making sure that it's even. Like, I want to look at these edges and just make sure it's even here. Yeah, girls can just really be not nice. And it's really just because we are insecure, right? Like, a lot of, like, we are so, girls, I think, tend to be worse on themselves about things. And it's just, I don't know why we are like that. We're harder on ourselves. Way harder on ourselves than we need to be, that's for sure. So I'm just trying to teach them, just don't worry about what everybody else says. Hoping that this is okay. Stop worrying about what everybody else says. Worry. I always tell them, you know, if they get, you know, worried about somebody else, and I'll say, look, you worry about you. That's between them and God. They can worry. They can deal with that. You move about your day. Don't worry about it. You know where you stand. You're doing what you're supposed to do. But even as adults, we need to hear these words. Okay. Yay. You never know how that white transfer paper is gonna look. Yes, Candy, just say thank you, right? Dixie said mean girl vibes are not tolerated, and that you do not do the mean girl thing. Yes, and the sad thing is receiving it follows you into adulthood. Yes, that is so true. And it was probably taught to them by their mothers, right? Like by people that they watched. I forgot to cross my T's, or maybe I didn't forget, but you see how it transferred? So now we're just going to take the paint pen and go over here. Yeah, usually it was taught to them by somebody, you know. They learned that behavior from someone. They learn to just, and you know, some people get into just such a habit of being that way that it's not even like necessarily that they are meaning it, not making excuses for people, but do you know, like some people just get into these like gossipy bad habits where they are like talking about other people and not necessarily meaning to be mean, but they're just, you know, just talking about it and not thinking about how their behavior is. And I think that's what happens a lot, is they just, you know, people get into bad habits of saying things, and they need somebody to just say, hey, that's not nice. Don't act like that. It's not okay. Here comes my husband. He doesn't, even though I do lives all the time at the same time, he always just never forgets, never remembers. I just said, even though I do lives the same time all the time, he never remembers. Here he comes.
See ya.
Yeah, every time I'm doing lives or I'll have a meeting, they're the same time every week. And every time, I even said something to him this morning. I have a live at whatever time. Here he comes walking over here. He's like the child with no concept of time. I always pick at him for it. He's putting our closets or Abby's closets together finally. So I almost did like the light pink background with some dark pink lettering. I think that would look cute with the scrapbook paper. I really like the way that I like the lime green in it. But I don't know that that would have looked great with the particular message that I'm putting on here. You know, I think our colors need to kind of the feel of what you're lettering, your backgrounds and your colors need to kind of go along with that. They need to copy that feeling that you're trying to give off. I'm being so silent. Yes, Dixie, they become so used to doing it that they don't realize like how their behavior is just affecting other people and who's watching them and who is watching their behavior and who is their behavior influencing, you know? I think there's so many adults who behave the same way. And they need to realize that, you know, people are looking to them. I'll have like some people are so like mean on like reels and stuff that I do. And they will get in there and they'll just make a quick comment because I'm just a stranger and, I'm not in front of them about it. And it's just like, okay, y'all, people talk about how mean young girls are, but y'all are grown women and look how you're acting. I mean, you assume they're grown women. You don't really know, but like people just get so used to kind of spouting their opinion off. Like they're not meaning it like I truly believe a lot of people are not meaning it just to be like mean. Like they're just not thinking about it. They're just thinking about, they're putting their 2 cents in. And it's like, okay, that's a person behind behind that post. It's an actual person. Be kind. I'm trying to like look at here and see where because some of these white lines get a little bit hard to see. But that's what I always tell myself. They're unhappy. They're just unhappy with something. And sometimes I just say a little prayer for them. So that turned out so good. Worked so nicely there. I know, right? Did it make you feel better saying that? Like, do you feel better now? Now that you just totally were just mean to somebody? Not that it matters, but I was trying to find which way was up and down. See, then you can just hot glue this little piece on here like that. Isn't that cute? Let's see. Moment of truth. Let's get this. I should probably dry it first. Let's dry it first. I could just envision like me doing this and then just like I saw the white paint pen glistening in the light, and I was like, oh my gosh, watch me just smear this. And I just saw something I felt like I needed to fix. That would be my look. Okay, so I'm going to dry this real fast, and then we're going to hot glue it. Then we'll hot glue. Kill them with kindness. That's exactly right, Leanne. Nothing makes unhappy people more mad if you're just sweet as pie to them, right? I'm going to just make this a little bit thicker. Be classy, right? Sometimes it's hard. I love this like bluish, tealish, I don't know what sort of, like it's kind of like a teal. It's not teal, but it's kind of like a moody teal blue. I have something on here and I just need to. Okay, I think we're dry now. And now is a moment of truth. We're gonna hot glue it. And then I'll have to put it down quickly before my hot glue dries. So don't get too close to the edge. Probably don't need all that, but and then I'm gonna just kind of try to line it up where it looks even. And this is a good way to kind of reuse some of this. You could also put like a piece of Velcro on the back and do like, or a magnet and do like a little interchangeable sign if you wanted to. That would be another good good way. Or you could use like a super glue. You don't have to use hot glue. For some reason, I just felt like hot glue is better. So I got to fix this part of the frame where I had hot glued my bow. I just need to get like a little, my X-Acto knife and mess with that. But you could even, you know, paint the frame differently if you wanted to. So we're taking this, again, this was the back side. So this is another way you could make it interchangeable is just, you know, flip over this piece. So, you know, I can still use this next year. But now that it's springtime, look what a completely different look this gives than the spring one did. And I could paint my little, you know, my beads like pink. That'd be pretty. Pink. What color would y'all do? I'm like pink with some of this bluish color here. Like we could even like kind of water down some of that blue and put it on there. Let's see if we can add a little bit of water to this brush. Let's see what happens. Get like a wet wipe. I need to be a little bit more, strategic with that. Really just making a mess with it, but you don't have to take it off to do that. But if you kind of just get the beads a little bit wet, get a baby wipe and just kind of wipe it on there. Be a little more orderly than what I'm doing, because this is, you know, this is me trying to get the results fast. Let me grab some, like some white. I should probably paint them white first. That you could, you know, get your wipe and do this. This kind of gives it a very faded sort of look. That way it's not just, you know, real harsh with that color, but you're just kind of getting it on there. It just takes a little while. To rub some of that color. Saget green. Thank you, Marie. Thank you, Leanne. Dixie said ashen blue gray, whatever the color, whatever you call the color. Smoky blue gray. That's what it looks like. This I used cloudy day. Clouded day. And then I mixed a little bit of white with it. And you could even put a little bit of that color in the frame. So the beads they're looking better. I wasn't planning on doing the beads, y'all, but you know, here we are. Here we are. So I was just quickly slapping it on there, not thinking that I was gonna really be doing it. So let's just flip this around here. Since we're here, right? We're here. I'm gonna get my white. I'm gonna mix this with a little bit of white just to lighten it up. And then I'm gonna take this wet wipe and just gonna rub these beads. You could take them off and it would be a lot easier, but I want to have to staple them back on there. They're stapled to the back. They're already, like what I just did. Well, that's unfortunate. Don't y'all like it whenever I do these things here? It makes you, hopefully it makes y'all feel a little bit like, you know, it gives you a sense of normalcy. Because it's like stapled in here. And I'm just rolling it around too much. So there we go. I'd have to like staple it back. So now we're not going to have a little, little thing. You can probably hot glue it on there too. Okay, well, I guess now we have plenty of time to do all of our beads. Oopsie. I'm glad that makes you feel normal, Michelle. This is just real life, y'all. This is real life. Look, they have a knot right here that obviously these can pass through. So now I just need to water down that paint. Ugh, come on. I have to put like a whole new, let's just do this. Maybe we can get enough leeway here where we can. This happened to me on my bow, heart and bow banner for the Sign Maker Society, y'all. I was like I was putting it on my mantle and I was like moving the beads around, and there was like this piece of this that kind of had come unraveled just a little bit, and I was like pulling on it and it snapped off and it broke my little broke my garland in half. I was like, well, that's unfortunate. So I had to like come in here in my office and get a whole new string. Start over. Just putting some water, mixing some water with this. And I could put these in a cup and like roll them around, and that would be a lot easier. This is what happens when you try to take the quick route. Just be quick with it, and then it's like, no, it's still going to take you a really long time. It definitely would be faster if you took these off and did this, but I'm committed to this way now. I almost wonder if I put like a little pink or green on there, if it would look cute, but then it might look also tie-dye. I'm glad I make you laugh, Michelle, you know. I'm just keeping it real over here. This is real crafting, right? I kept the lettering professional. That was good. We're just kind of giving it giving it a stained look. Beads are such a pain to paint, so this is kind of a good way to get some color on them without having to feel like you have to sit and paint them all. Sometimes I'll get the end of my paintbrush and like put it through the little hole of the bead and paint it that way. I'm doing like something specific, but I just want some color on it of some sort. It does not have to be like a solid layer of paint. And this just came attached to the frame already. I got it at Walmart, and it was like, I don't know, I think this sign was like $7 or $8, I think. And I already had the string hanger. So to me, that was worth it. It's nice to just kind of have some blank things that you can have ready to go. Okay, now I got to get these. Obviously easier to do it when they're not attached to a string, but it can be done. I think I have a lot of these kind of signs at Hobby Lobby too. So if you don't like to go to Walmart or you're not near a Walmart, look at the blanks that they have at Hobby Lobby. They are really starting, and Michael's too, they're really starting to provide a lot of like blank wood pieces that you can just kind of grab and use, which is really nice sometimes, especially if you don't cut your own signs. It's a little pricier than cutting your own signs, but it also saves some time. And also look at, the framed signs that they have at clearance at Hobby Lobby. Go down the clearance aisle, because sometimes I have stuff like this that already have like words or, something on them, like home decor. And you can just Mod Podge that scrapbook paper right on top of, the existing design. So you don't have to, get something brand new. I found one at Hobby Lobby. I found a old Hobby Lobby sign at Goodwill that was very similar to this. I don't know why I didn't think to use that one, but I think it's just a little smaller. But Yeah, I got that for like $2.99, and then I can just, Mod Podge some scrapbook paper right on top of it. Okay, so that's kind of like a bluish color. I'm scared I'm gonna ruin it if I try to add a little bit of pink. Let's see what happens. I can always leave a bead off. We use one of these as a tester. Well, that actually kind of looks cute. I know it's hard for y'all to see that. Putting a little bit of pink in there. I actually kind of like that. So let's now do the same thing with some pink. And don't have to do as much. We just want to get some color on there. That's what happens when you craft. You just got to kind of just experiment. But you see how just adding a little bit of pink, just, I don't want it to look purple, but this pink is Baby Pink by Folk Art. So, but I'm sure any pink is fine. Like, just get your scrapbook paper and just put it up to it and match it. Match the colors. I'm making a mess out of my hands, that's for sure. Beads are always so cute, but they do take a lot of work. Like I could just put these on my hand, put the paint on my fingers and just. It's almost like sponging it on there, but with the baby wipe. Thank you, Betty. I appreciate that. I always like to show my hands, and I think it's nice to see the person's face that is showing you the project. I don't like to just show my hands because then for some reason I feel like, at least when I can look into the camera and see myself, it feels like I'm talking to a real person, even though it's just my face. But it just, I don't know. I like it when I can see people when they're crafting, just makes you feel a little bit more connected to the person. And, Deb said, so she asked her husband to crawl up into the storage and get her beaded sign out of the Christmas stuff. And he just looked at her and walked outside. Don't our husbands love our our crafting requests, right? It's like, so my husband went and just got all the stuff for the closets because he's putting our closets together in our house, and because that's the one thing that's left. And he is working on Abby's closet, but I told him last night, I was like, so remember how we talked about we wanted to do like I wanted us to do the shelves and stuff in our closet with the it's like charcoal. It's not black, but it's like a charcoal color that I've used a lot in my house. And he's like, yes. And I'm like, can we still do that? And he's like, I already bought all the brackets in white. He bought all the shelves like pre-done in white. And I'm all, yeah, but I just think it would look better if we did it in black. I'm sure he's like not thinking friendly things in the side of his head. Like, why couldn't I have told him that before he went to Home Depot? Because I didn't remember. I forgot. Okay, so they're just a little like, I don't know, kind of, that one's not a good example, like this. Kind of a little tie-dye looking, but it does like pull all the colors in just a little bit better, I think. So now I got to worry about piecing it back. Yeah, my husband does the same thing all the time. Like we'll put things up and I'll be like, hey, so can you do something for me? That's why I want all the Christmas decor and all the holiday decor. Like, I just want a storage room with all the decor in it, right? So that we don't ever have to ask them to go into the attic and get anything, right? We can just get it ourselves. I hate asking Andy to get stuff out of the attic. And I'm not going up there, so. Michelle says, so do you remember when you can just see the gears in his head thinking that jail is not the place to be? Yeah. No kidding. They're like, that's not really what I want to see. I'm not answering really the way that I want to answer right now. Okay, let's try to piece this back together. Here, this string that I broke. Or not the string. Well, I did break the string. I'm gonna blame it on Walmart. And you didn't put it together good enough. I'm glad I'm making y'all laugh. All right, so this would be good with any phrase, any scrapbook paper you have around, a framed sign that you can just get a canvas panel that is the same size as the framed sign. I wonder if I could just make it a little bit shorter. We'll just leave these two beads off. And I don't have a little stapler in here that is the size that I need it. So we're just going to use, some hot glue. Ouch, 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 ouch. Again, I have those little finger things and I always forget to pull them out whenever I'm doing hot glue. Michelle, that's so funny. All right. Let's see. See, it's okay. Now, might need to staple it before I go and use this to hang because it might not be sturdy enough, but it'll work for now. I just have regular staples though. Not these little cute little tack staplers. But I don't know, look how cute that is. That turned out nice. So we have our canvas panel here, our 8x8 canvas panel. This sign, I think it's 10 by 10 that I got at Walmart, and we just took the back out and Mod Podged some scrapbook paper on it. And then we did our paint here, used our tracer from the Happy Lettering Club. So this is in the February designs in the template library of the Happy Lettering Club there. And you could make it on a bigger aspect if you wanted to. I might take some of this brown too, which is just antique wax, and put it in these beads as well, just to kind of pull that frame color so it doesn't look purple. So I think that that's what I'm going to do, is get that decor wax and fix my little piece where I took my bow off here and add some of that decor wax into this top. So I think that turned out so cute. What do y'all think? Y'all like it? If you're in the Happy Lettering Club and you make something like this, make sure you post a picture in the group. I want to see what you do. But yeah, you could do this with anything. This would make a really nice gift for somebody. So hopefully that gave you some good inspiration for the day. Now I'm going to go work on an upcoming workshop that I am doing. So y'all have your eyeballs peeled for that. Hopefully I'll be announcing that at the end of the week. But I still got some work to do for it. So I'm going to go work on that, but I hope you guys have a good Wednesday, and I will see you back here next Wednesday for hand lettering happy hour. Bye.